Does Hebrew 4 speak of the Sabbath? Christians will tell you, no, it don't speak of the Sabbath. Christians will say in the whole New Testament, you don't find the Sabbath. Let's read Hebrews 4 to expose this mass deception. Let's read Hebrews 4 to see if Hebrews 4 is talking about the Sabbath. Or is it talking about our rest being in Jesus? Christians said, we no longer have to keep the Sabbath because our rest is in Jesus. Show me a Bible verse that he told you not to keep it because your rest is in him. Show me. Because if you read Luke 4:16, he was keeping the Sabbath. All the apostles were keeping the Sabbath in the book of Acts after Jesus Christ died. But let's read Hebrew 4. It says, verse 1, let us therefore fear, lest the promise of being left behind, of entering into his rest. We're talking about whose rest? God's rest. Any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached. We see the gospel connected with his rest. For unto us the gospel was preached, as well as unto them. But the word was preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith. Rest, gospel, faith in them that heard it, in which we have believed and entered into his rest. He said, I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. Rest, gospel, faith, creation. 4 things we see there already. For he spoke on the 7th day on the wise. Are they talking about the Sabbath? Is Hebrew 4 talking about the Sabbath? Let's read it again. And he spoke in a certain place on the 7th day on the wise. And God rested the 7th day from all his works. Are they talking about the Sabbath? Of course they're talking about the Sabbath. And it goes, and in this place again. Which place again? And in this place again. Which place? The 7th day. If they shall enter into my rest. Therefore, seeing it remains that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not because of unbelief. Again, he limited a certain day. David saying, today, after so long of a time, it is said, today, if you shall hear his voice and hearken and harden not your hearts. Today means what? Today is not talking about that today is the Sabbath. It's talking about today if you hear the voice of the Lord. For if Jesus had given them rest, for if our rest was in Jesus, family, hear this. If our rest was in Jesus, then would he not after have spoken of another day? Therefore remains a rest for the people of God. For he that entered into rest, he also ceased. For he that enters into his rest, he also ceases from his work, as God did from his. That's the 7th day. Let us therefore enter into that rest. Let any man fall after the same example of unbelief. The Bible is clear when you read it with the power of the Holy Spirit. They don't enter into that rest, into that Sabbath rest today when they hear this message because of their unbelief. Hebrews 4 does talk about the Sabbath, the 7th day on the wise.